15 baby monitor photos that will freak you out. Nowadays, technology helps us with so much. From our fancy smartphones to the innovative ideas technology experts are coming up with every day, it can easily be said that we have made our lives a million times easier by developing tools and machines to help us achieve our goals even faster. As technology evolved, it has made its way into some very interesting areas of life. As soon as baby monitors became a thing, they were hot on the market. What was better than being able to hear and even see what your child was doing while you were in another room? They gave moms and dads all over the world the ease and comfort to know that their child was safe, even when they couldn't be there physically. Many monitors have even been useful in catching burglars on camera, allowing police and other officials to identify criminals. However, something that isn't talked about often is the creepy side of baby monitors. We place these devices in our homes to make sure that the babies are safe. But we fail to think about what could be lurking behind the locked doors of our homes. The question, what if the baby somehow became malevolent, is asked in this situation, and it's not something that many people like to think about. Of course, a mere baby couldn't really do much harm, but some pictures and stills of videos that have been captured on baby monitors show just how creepy things can get in the middle of the night. 15. Staring baby. By boredom therapy. In this first picture, there appears to be a child standing in the middle of the room directly in front of their crib. This child doesn't seem to be doing anything other than standing and staring. While this may not be considered creepy by many, consider the fact that the child is doing nothing but standing still. It's hard to tell whether or not the crib behind him is closed or open, so it can't be said for sure how he got out. While his eyes are most likely creepy and distorted due to the video quality of the monitor, this doesn't take away from the fact that this child is downright terrifying. Parents should definitely be on the lookout if one of their children are doing things like this. Perhaps this kid has a sleepwalking problem. It certainly does happen to children of various ages around the globe. 14. Sleeping children. By boredom therapy. This photo doesn't particularly strike fear into people's hearts simply because the image looks like a regular nighttime photo of two children sleeping in a crib. However, if you take into account that the parents are only supposed to have one kid, it certainly makes things even spookier. Closer examination of the photo is required when looking at the person on the left. Many people think the figure in the crib to just be a doll that the child has chosen to sleep with at night. Other people believe the being is a ghostly presence sleeping soundly alongside the kid. Whatever it may be, the parents of the child should probably be checking on their little one a lot more throughout the night. One can never be too careful when it comes to spirits, and if the figure in the photo above is indeed a spirit, I would be moving my child to another room, or even a new house. 13. Black-eyed baby. By boredom therapy. This one would certainly scare a parent to death. A child appears to be sleeping soundly in a very large crib. Just above the child is a baby blanket with a rather large light to the right of it. Everything seems completely fine in this photo, until you take a look at the baby's eyes. Just one glance and you know something is off. Granted, this could be the distortion of the video, but look closely. Does it look as though there is a long tongue coming out of the baby's mouth? Maybe someone wanted to pull a sick and twisted joke and decided to place a baby doll in a crib and make it look terrifying. If that's the case, they did an amazing job. However, if this photo is indeed real, there are no words to describe the terror these parents must have been experiencing. That child might just need an exorcist. Well, look into my eyes. By boredom therapy. Babies may not be able to defend themselves properly or pose a real threat to anyone around them, but they can definitely appear creepy to a guest in the house. Take for example this photo of a baby laying in a baby bed. All things in the photo appear to be normal. These parents probably thought their baby would be sound asleep by the time they took a look at their baby monitor screen, but they couldn't have been more wrong. The baby is staring right into the camera, almost like the child is looking into you rather than at you, and the child doesn't appear to have any intention of averting its gaze. Hopefully this didn't go on for very long. There isn't a parent in the world who wants to worry about something being supernaturally wrong with their child. 11. Creepy face. Via boredom therapy. This photo is particularly eerie as it's not entirely clear what we're looking at. The pile on the floor could be someone laying down on a thin mattress with a lot of sheets or blankets covering them. The first strange thing about it is the light that's shining on the bed. It looks as though it's under a spotlight against what might be a wall or perhaps an upright mattress. The next strange thing is the apparent face just on the right of the blankets. Judging from the size of the bed, there is no way it could be a human's face. It seems to take up almost half of the pile. Also, it's certainly not a baby's face, which makes it even scarier to think about. Perhaps this is another example of a morbid and strange prank, or maybe this photo really does show a ghost on the side. 10. Alien baby. Via boredom therapy. When looking at this picture, it's hard to deny that the child might just be an alien. Sure, the glare from the camera and the fact that it's dark in the room might have something to do with how the baby's eyes look, but regardless, it is indeed a creepy picture. It sounds highly far-fetched, but stories of aliens impregnating women with strange alien babies are abound online, especially in the past decade or so. While this picture is most likely distorted due to the resolution of the baby monitor, a first glance certainly makes you want to think twice. Being a parent and looking at this at 3 in the morning might just be a cause for a scare. I would certainly be running into the baby's room just to make sure that everything was okay. 9. Cat on top. Via boredom therapy. When you first look at this picture, it's rather difficult to tell what's going on. It may take your eyes a moment to adjust, but after a while, things start to show up. A cat seems to be perched on the corner of the crib looking over at something odd. To the side of the cat is a little girl or boy leaning over the side of the crib, arms falling over the edge. This child doesn't look creepy, except for the fact that they don't appear to be moving. As a parent, it would be worrisome if you're looking at a monitor late at night and happen to see this. Not to mention, the cat seems fairly curious as to what is going on with the child. Hopefully the parents were able to check on the child and make sure everything was okay. 8. Creepy baby selfie. Via boredom therapy. It's no wonder that selfies are a common thing in today's world. They take up most of people's Instagram and Facebook profiles without fail. However, the majority of selfies appear to be of teenagers. In this photo, it appears that the baby is grabbing the camera, trying to take a selfie. It may seem kind of cute at first, but it does make one wonder a few things. Firstly, how was it that the baby was able to get to the camera? Secondly, why does it seem like the baby is completely aware of what the device does? Surely it can know the first thing about baby monitors and cameras. You're probably saying to yourself, surely there must be a reasonable explanation. But what if you're terrifyingly wrong? We may never know what was going on in this baby picture. Until more evidence surfaces of its origin, we're left to wonder. 7. Exorcist baby. Via boredom therapy. This photo is by far one of the creepiest on our list. Plenty of people can imitate the famous scene from one of the Exorcist movies in which the girl walks backwards on her hands and legs down the stairs. But what about babies? This one appears to be attempting such a thing with its arms bent in strange ways and its head turned sideways in its crib. However, the eyes are really what stand out the most in this picture. The way they seem so black with bright white dots in the middle sends chills up your spine for days. I believe it's safe to say that the parents of this child will probably be looking into an exorcist before long. Of course, there's the logical chance that this is simply just a kid trying to play around while looking silly upside down. But does that face look friendly? Yeah, we didn't think so either. 6. Screaming child. Via boredom therapy. Where to begin with this photo? First, the fact that the baby is clearly hungry says it all. Or perhaps they are screaming into the camera, trying to get a reaction from their parents. Notice the very obvious and creepy little hand just below their face. That doesn't look pleasant at all. The baby most likely just woke up in the middle of the night wanting their mother to come in and feed them. Whatever the case, the parents decided to take a picture. Obviously they were freaked out by it just as much as the internet was. Also, how is it that the baby knew exactly where to look while opening its mouth like that? These are questions that will undoubtedly always haunt us. 5. Creeper in the closet. By Boredom Therapy. This one here definitely needs to be looked at more than once. You can glance around the room in the picture and spot nothing out of the ordinary. A baby crib sits in the corner of the photo with a mattress obviously in the crib. Just in front of the crib are what appear to be 2 doors. The one to the right, which probably leads out into the hallway, is closed, but the one to the left is clearly open. As you're taking a closer look inside the closet, notice the strange figure that appears to be sitting down. The outline gets stranger as you move your gaze further up to find what might be a mask with horns? What is something like that doing in a baby's room? Could the parents of the child have caught something on camera that they didn't want to be seen, or did they capture a spirit trying to let the family know they're there? 4. Scary 4-eyed baby. Via Boredom Therapy. If this is a face you see in your nightmares, you're certainly not alone. A face like this would scare anyone in their dreams. But this photo is real, which makes it all the more terrifying. This is a still of a baby monitor video, and it was probably taken while the baby was in motion in front of the device. That little possibility gives the image a less creepy vibe, but it still is pretty creepy. Just to the right of the baby, there appears to be something floating. It's distorted, just like the baby's face, but this strange-looking object doesn't seem natural. Could it be a ghostly orb floating through the air? Little is known about this picture, and yet it continues to be touted all over the internet as one of the scariest baby monitor pictures. Also, what are those floating orange bits? They eerily remind one of embers from a fire. 3. Another black-eyed child. Via Boredom Therapy. With the symbols, notifications at the top of the screen, and the quality of the picture, you can tell this was taken on a baby monitor with excellent resolution. The monitor probably cost quite a bit of money, but it probably didn't matter to the parents when it came to their child's safety. In this picture we have another black-eyed baby. Either this child's eyes are showing up black because of the monitor's night vision, or this baby is the spawn of Satan himself. Children with black eyes have actually been reported from places all around the world, and while it may not be a popular subject, one can't deny the fact that it happens. Of course, experts dismiss this with the idea that our brains can play tricks on us. While that may be very true, what about this photo? Is it possible that the child truly holds something evil within? 2. I See You. Via Boredom Therapy. Try to imagine yourself as a mother who has to look down at the baby monitor and see a face like this staring back at her every single night. This little boy's face is undeniably creepy. Why is it always the cute ones who can look so scary? It's been said that children are often the target of malevolent supernatural beings. Stories exist all throughout our history of demons and entities that are dead set on taking the lives of babies and doing terrible things like sacrificing them and eating them. Of course, most of these stories were myths and legends that have existed for thousands of years, but it still makes one wonder where they originated. This photo is different, though, because the child seems to be possessed. In all actuality, the baby's eyes are probably just reflecting due to the night vision camera, but we still are freaked out? How can we deny that there just might be something more sinister going on here? 1. The Demon Woman. Via Boredom Therapy. Here is our final image. Possibly the scariest baby monitor photo. The picture shows a woman leaning over the edge of a baby's crib. The woman seems rather normal in most aspects. It isn't clear whether or not a baby is in the crib, but what can definitely be noted is that the lady in question is definitely not a human being. Her arms and body may appear normal, but that face is impossible to explain. Is she the mother, casually looking down at her child in the middle of the night, or a strange creature, coming to take the baby away? It's a terrifying thought that someone or something could break into your home, snatch your child up, and take off without even a sound. Could that be what's happening here? It may be possible that the monitor distorted the mother's face in a strange way, but how could it transform it like that?